I just wanna chill and vibe. Baby girl, keep it real, no lies. She said she's 21, I said alright. If we gon' be grown, then speak your mind. I just wanna chill and vibe. 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 Soon as baby turn up, you know Buddha gon' turn up. Turn up, gon' turn up. Soon as baby turn up, you know Buddha gon' turn up. Gon' turn up. Soon as baby turn up, you know Buddha gon' turn up. Gon' turn up. Soon as baby turn up, you know Buddha gon' turn up. Let's start the show. Only good vibes. No, I'm serious. Let's start the show. Come on, mom. Come on, mom. Only good vibes. Turn up. Turn up.
Oh, hey! What's good, Sippas? This is your boy Buddha, and over there is a lovely
baby,
and we joined by the single lady Ranter.
Hey, Miss Kai in the place, sipping it too. Hey.
Oh, I'm glad she said that. I'm glad she said that. So, baby, how was your day?
It was a great day to be great.
And bless him, please, dude. What are you sipping on?
A baby drop.
Oh, a baby drop. A baby drop.
A baby drop.
Be careful how you leaning.
It will. If you wanna, drop it down low like the baby, you should have this. So what I am drinking, it is lemon infused vodka with a little bit of lemonade and a splash of ginger ale.
Me? I'm sipping on some Kentucky bourbon ale.
It's actually pretty good.
Hey. And if you don't know, y'all sleeping.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty decent beer.
It is very nice and smooth, and yeah, I'm enjoying it. Yeah.
And you know, she is a beer connoisseur.
I love me a good beer, and this is a great one right here. This ale is nice. It's very clean and doesn't have that bitter aftertaste that you find with a lot of ales. It's very smooth, so I'm enjoying it. Thank you for this one.
Yay, team! I like to surprise her sometimes.
Yeah, you done good for yourself, the old young Buddha. So, we're going to jump right into last week on our recap. And so, we had, last few weeks, we've had some great guests. We had D.E. Westbrook.
That's my dog.
We had,
he's an author, by the way.
Skylar on the show. We had T. Gaines. We had LaVonna Ivory, another author. We've had who else? A bunch of them. I can't even remember now.
Ooh, child.
Well, I'm looking for my co-host still.
You want me to help you out? Train.
Oh, absolutely. Starting the show out with Trey.
Come on, he had Crow Easy.
Well, I'm just saying, you look now. We a team.
I mean, I got you.
I is we. Team Sippas.
Hey, so what it was, like an alley-oop? Okay, I got you.
God damn.
Because you don't usually play ball. You ain't a team player.
I am a team player. Well, you see me, when I do like this, we had.
Help me.
I mean, we had to go back over all the weeks, all the people. But that was just to name a few. But one of the people that I really liked that came on as well was Nikisha Walker. She had the plethora of information about the jobs through Valencia. So that was like, spot on. So those are just to name a few people that's been on our show over these last 10 weeks. And now here we are on week 11 of 12 of our season. And we have the beautiful Kai Will, also known as the single lady Ranter.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
I'm just saying. So last week when we had Miss Ivory Joseph on the show, we were asking a question about, is dating a lost art?
Oh, I think it is. I think people are for the fast and furious version of dating. People want things to be instant. People are looking for that instant connection. If the connection is not instant, then they're like, let's move on. I need something right now. You know, everyone wants that microwave dinner relationship. And relationships are pretty much like how I cook. You know, I take my time and I add love into it. So, but everybody ain't for that.
Yeah. I mean, and that was kind of some of the things we mentioned that as well. You know, and it's kind of, I feel like it is as well. You know, that it's becoming a lost art because, like you say, people don't want to actually court. They want things like, you know, at the first sign of anything red, blue, pink, purple, whatever the fuck the color could be, freak the color could be. I'm gonna try to do better with my inappropriate language because I can't chastise this one if I don't, you know. I'm gonna say some things, but you know, I'm gonna try to be mindful because, you know, at some point as our platform elevates, we want to be able to be viewed as diversified. So nevertheless, that was just a disclaimer. But people want things right. I'm gonna do that now. You know,
did I say that? Oh, like,
he already look. I was coming.
Watch out now. This is what we talk about.
But nevertheless, it's just that so many of us, I'm saying us people, we want these things, but we want the illusion of the things that we've seen and see, but we don't want to do the work.
That part. It's the work part.
And, you know, now I'm not telling you to go out there and be anybody's doormat, man or woman.
Okay.
Nobody want to be walked over, you know, mistreated and all of those things. Obviously, you know, you should draw a line. There's, you know, but don't be prematurely drawing a line because they didn't call you at 5 o'clock.
Right.
Well, what do you consist of when you say doing the work? You know.
I mean, I'm just saying, like,
what
you
is
know,
happening that's so different? You know.
Well, don't just text me and think we in a relationship.
Okay. All right.
Call me sometime.
I mean,
Let's go out. Let's go out in public.
I'm not saying you don't have to put work. I'm saying, what does it look like?
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
you know what I'm saying?
You know, to court me, you know. Now, yes, everybody won't.
I'm sorry, Carl. What was the courting process?
The courting process. For me, you know, it is what it is.
Out the gate, find out what's going on,
It is what it is.
so I don't waste my time. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I was gonna say,
trying to put
and
it
I
in your
want
life
the
earlier.
goods. Yeah, you eventually want the goods, you
Right.
know.
But
What your eventually looks like, I don't, you know, it's all perspective. You know, your eventually might be tomorrow. Some eventually might be next week. You know, I don't want to put in. I don't think it should be one sided where I'm calling, I'm doing the things, I'm being attentive, and all this. But then, you know, you just kind of doing what you want to do, how you want to do it, and then you'll hit me with this beautiful thing, and then it's like, I done forgot you semi-ghosted me.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? So we just got to work. We just got to do better as a people if we want to change the narrative, as Buddha would say.
Well, I mean, I just think today's people just date differently. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They communicate differently than what we used to. You know, you don't have to meet at the park anymore. You can just, hey, let's FaceTime. When did we used to? When can we just FaceTime? You know what
We
I'm
used to
saying?
write letters.
It's right. We should write letters. You know, you used to go to the pizzeria.
Oh, man. I still like writing letters, like especially if it's someone that I have strong feelings for. I love to write, especially like in a card. I'm going to take my time and write something. I think that's a lost art that people don't really do anymore. Take the time to really write something thoughtful and express themselves.
I wrote for you once.
Yes.
Didn't I? Just like one time, once or twice.
All I'm saying
She
is
got up in the morning, had a nice little poem.
that was cute. But see, you know, don't date me and then think that's it. You know, it's because and I know as a woman, you know, we do all these things because we want this man, and then we don't do the things that we to keep him. But it goes both ways. Look, bruh, you were buying me flowers. You know what I'm saying? You were just showing up on my job with lunch. You was washing my car. You was sending me the little few dollars for my gas or just
iron skillets.
You know what I'm saying?
And vacuum.
Vacuum skillets for the house. You know, I like that stuff still.
It don't change. It's supposed to keep going.
You know,
You keep that same energy as that.
that's it. That's all we do. That's all we here for. And people don't want to do it. And like you know, like you say, the whole FaceTime. Yes, we are dating in a new era, but it does not mean
so
we shouldn't be
I'm
doing
glad we
things.
talking about this. I'm glad keeping the same energy, right? That goes both ways as well. Like if you ain't doing the things that you were supposed to be doing, right? If you're not doing those things, then you want me to keep it a level of standard up the way I was pushing. Why should I have to keep that same level up if you ain't meeting the same level as well? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
so when you used to, you know, love on me the way you used to love on me, now you just using this as an example. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I used to get topped off in the morning just because you love me. That ain't happening no more. But then you want me to go ahead
You say
and
top off?
topped off. You get topped off and you ain't doing that like you used to on the regular no more. But then yet still you want me to go ahead and write these letters and go ahead and get these flowers constantly as I was doing. So like how does that work? You know what I'm saying?
For me, if the sloppy toppy stops in the morning, then I need to start monitoring what you're eating because that's the only way it's gonna stop. So then maybe you went out last night and I know you done drank some Hennessy. I don't want to be tasting Hennessy first thing in the morning.
Hennessy dick is the best dick.
No, to get it, but not to
I'm
taste
just saying.
it. Not to
If
taste
it
it.
happens, you better get ready for the pounding.
Yes, but I don't want to taste it.
I am at a loss of words right now, okay? Now, that is what's lost right now, my
You're
words.
Hey.
Both ways. So, let's see. What the people say? What the people is saying. Let's go into what the people saying. All right, let's see.
What they saying?
They said pursue, court, date, spend time, intimacy, repeat.
I like that.
Oh, so okay, that sounds good. But what is the what's the reciprocity for that? What do you need?
I mean, I'm assuming that's both ways.
Both
Like
ways, yeah.
that's not being a specific like men or women. That's
I mean,
saying
I'm just taking it
a
from a man's.
recipe.
Because you're saying pursue court.
Okay, so if you're
Women
pursuing,
can court a man.
I'm not saying they can't, but I'm saying
They can.
that's what you need
They
too.
could.
I mean,
I'm not that type of
I'm
woman,
assuming
but-
that's what you know. What I'm saying I'm assuming that's what he is doing, right? To make sure his relationship is on top.
Right.
But I'm saying, what does he require? The same.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
But then, so aren't those the conversations that people need to have going into, like, as you're getting to know people?
Right.
I think those are the real conversations that you have
Yes,
to have
you
after that.
can. Let me get this. Yes, you can. I'm going to send you a link.
Oh Lord. Who is it?
And
Who's that, Jerome?
yeah, I'm gonna see how I can do it. That's the question.
Oh, he's gonna have some great perspective for you. So.
Okay. As soon as I can figure out, I need to go into the platform.
Duh. Well, while she's keeping on going, what's been going on with you?
Oh, what's been going on with me?
Thank you.
Well, this weekend I hosted a dinner party, and I go like this because it was a 420 dinner party. So I made some very yummy treats from what I've heard, because I didn't really get to eat anything because I was busy creating.
You didn't snack along the way?
I did not snack along the way because I need to be in my full functioning mode.
I mean,
I understand. She want to be able to talk straight.
So if you look on my page, I had posted some pictures from the dinner this past Saturday. So what do we have? We had homemade hummus that was infused. How was that, baby? Woo! She took some home with her. We had, I also made butter. So I made a can of butter to go on the bread, and also because we had baked potatoes, so the butter was for the baked potatoes as well.
yes.
We had salad. We had chicken, baked potato, Brussels sprouts, broccoli.
I like Brussels sprouts.
And they were good too. Oh, yeah, they were good.
Oh my goodness.
Brussels sprouts were off the chain good. And everything was infused with, you know, some of the
No
oils I
to-go
made, the
No
butter
to
I
go
made.
plate.
Okay, let me say this yet again. There was no to-go plate.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, like.
And then we had, and then I made a whole bunch of desserts. So we had cookies, chocolate covered strawberries,
That's what I was supposed to do.
chocolate covered blueberries. We had cupcakes that were infused with my little special recipe. It's a maple syrup infused with Jack Daniel's honey and cannabis. And that's my favorite. Actually, I love putting that on my pancakes. And yes, it just.
You know how I love pancakes. Yeah.
Oh, I got the perfect syrup for you.
Okay.
So I will be. I
might have to travel.
syrup.
I might have to travel to get this one.
Yes. So it was definitely a fun experience. From what I heard, everyone had a great time. There was a lot of good conversations going on, and the energy was really good. And I'm just so happy that I was able to share my home and my food with so many good people. I'm sad that you weren't there, Carl.
Oh, no.
Buddha.
I mean, but I had my teammate who was being a selfish team player, right?
But wait, I did bring some goodies.
Right, and I was gonna do the same thing to her, but somebody in here had to mention.
So I did bring goodies. I brought chocolate chip cookies, some chocolate covered cashews, and chocolate covered butter cookies. So yes, there's a picture from that was your food. She didn't show you pictures of her food?
Nothing.
Oh, damn.
I didn't do nothing. I didn't. And the reason why I didn't do anything was because I could not do anything. Okay?
Oh, yeah. So how were you feeling after you got home?
All right. So while I'm talking about this, I'm going to add, we have a young man, Jerron. I want to make sure I'm saying it right. I'm going to add him. He asked to come in on this perspective. So I'm adding him, but we're going to finish talking, okay? All right.
Look at it. He's just
Hey, sir. How are you?
He got a little grin.
Hi, Queen. How are you? I'm all right.
Oh, I gotta turn I gotta change the volume. So just one moment.
You see how that went? We talk about this Foley thing. Show you.
Right. Well, this is because we didn't have someone,
Okay.
and now we do.
All right.
Which I probably should just keep it that way. Anytime somebody do want to join, I'm able to. We're able to.
I'm here for it, man. I'm here for this.
All right. So, before we talk with our guests that came in that want to chime in on our recap topic, this is just a couple of little hors d'oeuvres. However, as you can see, everything wasn't infused as she was mentioning, but that little bowl there, that hummus, came from the gods. All right.
I'm so called hating right now. You ain't got. I'm hating.
Like
I'm so hating, man.
I really.
Zay, what's up, baby? How you doing?
Like no one really took a whole lot of pictures.
Right. And so
everyone was so that just let you know the interview was that good that everyone was really engaged.
You're right.
The conversation There wasn't a
top
lot of
secret.
pictures.
It was. We were talking.
Top secret. Like I couldn't.
I think I don't want to say necessarily it was top secret, but we, I mean, it was one of those situations.
Everyone was just
where,
vibing. Everyone was having a great
Right.
time. Like everyone was really chill. But I only surround myself with really good people, and that's why I'm so happy to be a part of coming here and talking with you all, because y'all are those great people that I like being around.
Oh man, that almost put a little tear in my eye. I ain't even much gonna front. Cause first of all, I ain't nothing but old wuss. So
I'm glad she said
it don't
it.
take
long.
It don't take long for me. So, but to answer her with regards to how I felt, I felt amazing because one of the things about it, the funny things about it, I should say, is the fact that, the fact that I have to, I need to get off of this. I didn't want to be on there. All right, cool. Is that it has like, a delayed.
Yes.
It's delayed as with any edible, some know about it, some don't. And so in my research, I end up discovering, especially, but what I appreciate too, with regards to the way the delay worked, helped, I guess, is that she didn't do like a whole
at one time.
So it was like, okay, you're gonna get this, and then then we had a little in between where you just eat something that wasn't infused.
Mm-hmm.
But the crazy thing is, we kept going back to the hummus and the bread with the butter, so you didn't really fully give yourself a rest period.
I tried to get a rest period. I told them it was a great.
It was good, but it was on the table and it was right there. And so then the vegetables, the dinner came, and then of course it's infused,
right?
Mm-hmm.
And then dessert came and it's infused.
You see my face? It's like
it was.
Y'all.
So it was good. It was good.
I know. You're in the green. You say, but this one over here.
It ain't my house. It wasn't my party. How am I gonna be held accountable for somebody else's stuff?
Okay.
Like,
I'm glad she mentioned that.
It's not like I went to a party, a real live house party where there's a plethora of food. It was a specific amount of food for the specific amount of people.
Which I was a part of that. No.
Well, you didn't No.
Hold
That's
on.
ghetto.
Hold on. First of
That's
all,
ghetto. This was a very
if
refined
if I go
part of
anywhere,
gathering.
if I go anywhere without this one right here, if I go anywhere without, and they serve food, and I don't bring nothing home,
You
it's
talking about
a
a whole
problem.
different situation. And he has come back without anything.
And I got my head top.
Well,
No.
I brought you something. So there you go.
But
now
I was under the impression, well, once we had that understood, and he was going to be going to his alternate plan A. Okay, I don't know that he's not taking care of himself. I mean, Jesus Christ, like what else is there for me to do? I said there's nothing here, like to take everybody.
You just digging that hole deep.
I'm just saying. So nevertheless, anywho, needless to say, get out your feelings, because
you were feeling good that evening.
I mean,
sure. One person was feeling good, baby.
it wasn't my party, and
All right.
if you would have made
But-
it, maybe you should have
But
made
my
a
man
arrangement.
Cole Easy said it best. It would have been a whole war.
Nah, it wouldn't have been no war.
No.
Because I would have, if I know, first of all, I use my big girl words. And number one, I would say, hey, stop by somewhere and bring me something home, because I've already identified that this situation is, happening.
No, baby.
She don't even own a microwave.
I do.
I don't. And that's okay because I don't own a microwave. I have not owned a microwave in almost 15 years. So
But you have-
everything I prepare was prepared fresh. So there was no microwaving, there was no instant nothing. Everything was prepared.
That's fine.
Fresh.
That is fine, but guess what? I do have a microwave. I mean, I do have a microwave, an oven, and an air fryer. Either way,
Okay, so what you was gonna walk? You was gonna leave with it in your hand? And you want me to leave with it in my hand?
Yes.
This is a minimalist person. So there's things. There's no provisions that's being made for people to leave the fucking house.
That's true. I did not.
So
I'm good.
Yes.
I'm good. I'm just really teasing.
I know, but we need to be very clear for the people in the bike.
Because what I would have done, I would have called, do you need anything? Do you need anything?
He said he was going to another party.
I know you're listening.
The man said he was going to another party. So he said he was going to another party. I don't know until after the fact. I'm home when he says it's over. It's over too. Well, hell, what? I'm already home.
First of all, how is she home when I beat her home? Did
when you said that, I was already. His ass was right behind me. He was in the yard, didn't even get out of the car. So he just got home the same way. He was just out there fraternizing on the phone. But that ain't what the show is about.
Right. Anyway, it was a good dinner party, and I'm probably gonna have another one soon.
So
and I'm gonna be at this one.
So
you better
and you ain't gonna go.
Catch it. Yeah, right.
So DM me if you're interested.
That's
then I'll decide.
You
Right.
see what Cole say? Facts.
Ain't no fact, man.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. All right, so let's go, man.
So no, but real talk. The last week recap, but you know, Jerron, I said it right.
Yes, ma'am.
Jerron. He wanted to have his input on our recap.
He wanted to speak on it.
He wanted to speak on it, and so last week we talked about is dating a lost art. Go.
I would say being 30 years old, dating is a lost art. Dating is a lost art. Social media and technology have taken away things that you guys spoke about are actually things I like doing. What happened to writing love letters? What happened to sending flowers? What happened to having that special someone and surprising them and doing flowers like in a candlelit bath? You know, things like that, you know. And I was going to say, because I put up the process of court, date, be intimate, and repeat, more or less. And what I meant by that was it goes both ways, where you court each other, you go on dates, you pursue each other, then you're intimate, and you repeat the process. So there it is. Pursue, court, date, spend time, intimacy, repeat. So pursue the person, court them, go on dates, spend time with each other, be intimate, repeat that process. It's not just men. It has to be men and women. It has to be reciprocated. You can't have one person putting in 100% and another person putting in 10. It's not going to work out. At least has to be 60-40 or 50-50.
So
yeah,
I'm with you, but I gotta go to the other side of the pillow, cuz. And I'm with you now. I totally agree, but I'm gonna go to the other side of the pillow. You know, in human, it's natural to get complacent. Humans, it's natural to get complacent. So when you say do all that and repeat, and then you sprinkle in, I already know this little motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be skipping some steps because you don't feel like you got to. You know what I'm saying?
Of course. Now,
and it really comes to familiarity, knowing the person. If y'all working hard every day, like you go to work every day, you go to work every day, you go to work every day. Do you keep that same energy?
You try, but it's
hard.
Well,
you know, realistically,
you try
every day, but you should be. It should come off as you do have the desire to do it. If we want to be together.
I said that for a reason, right?
Right.
Because as we talk about regular work, we all in unison say a relationship is what? Work.
Yes, it is.
Right.
Yes,
You see what I'm saying?
Switch it hands.
You see what I'm saying? Boom, boom. So what I'm saying to you, your theories are great, and we should actually do that. But when it becomes to that familiarity, comfortability, all that in between, like y'all been together 5 years, am I gonna be courting you when I look at your ass every day.
No, and it's not the
I
aspect
know
of
for
like
sure.
once you get to a certain point, like when you're in a relationship, and maybe if you're married, technically you don't have to court, but I would say, as women always tell us, it's the small things that count. So if you're with this person, it's nothing wrong with maybe like doing a candlelit dinner just once in a blue moon, sending them flowers just because, just to let them know you are thinking of them. Because what I can say is that, for this is my perspective of what a woman would do. If a guy's going to send her flowers once in a blue moon, she will at least think he thought enough about me that he wanted to send me flowers. It's the thought that counts.
Yeah. Understood.
I like that too.
Right.
It's about maybe at least 2 times a month having date night, or if you guys are tied up with a family, at least switching roles where it's like, hey babe, get up, go out, I'll watch the kids, go have a spa day. The little things that let the person know you appreciate them.
I like the way you think, and I know it goes both ways. You know, men and women alike. So if I wouldn't put the blame on no one. I just say it's a shared blame for everybody as a whole. And ultimately, dating has become, in this day and age, a lost art. All right. Yeah. Well, thank you for tuning in. We about to jump into our next round of this show. So I appreciate you coming.
Thank you for the invite. Bye, Miss Kai.
Stay in the comment section and make sure you like, follow, and share.
Not everybody get a chance to go back and forth.
Oh my God, my crush is over there drunk right now.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
So, before we get into what we're talking about tonight, we're gonna take a little quick break. Y'all know how this go, okay? It's gonna be quick. Get you something to drink. Get you some more water. If you being healthy and whatnot. Whatever it is, go run, do that, and we'll be right back. Okay.
Oh, this is for the Sippas. Yeah. We sipping in conversation. We sipping in conversation. We sipping in conversation. Yeah. We sipping in conversation. We sipping in conversation. What it is, or what it do. If your homegirl sipping, then bring her on through. What it is, or what it do. If your homegirl singing, then bring her on through, baby.
What it is, what it do. If your homeboy sipping, then gon' come through. What it is, what it do. If your homeboy sipping, come through.
What it is, or what it do. If your homegirl sipping, then bring her on through. What it is, or what it do. If your homegirl singing, then bring her on through, baby.
What it is, what it do. If your homeboy sipping, then gon' come through. What it is, what it do. If your homeboy sipping, come through.
We sipping in conversation. We sipping in conversation. Yeah. We sipping in conversation. We sipping in conversation.
Real talk, real life, real peak. Real talk, real life, real people. Hey, real talk, real life, real people. Real talk, real life, real people. Buddha and Bay.
No, now see how you doing.
Baby drop.
She want that baby drop. She want that baby drop. What that baby do?
All right, we back. I mean, before we get into the topic, I want to have a few more questions because some of our sippers may not remember who you are, and we need to reintroduce you to the sipper.
Allow me to reintroduce myself.
Oh! I got you. I'm on that.
I am Miss Kai, the Single Lady Ranter. You can follow me on Facebook and IG at the Single Lady Ranter. So check me out.
So
I go live on Friday mornings at 7:30 a.m. And sometimes I run a little late, but don't hold that against me. Charge it till I'm sleeping in. That's
so
the reality of it.
how did you come up with this whole movement for yourself?
Actually, I had started doing these like rants. I had this crazy date, and I kind of went live and talked about the date. And then from there, you know, I got a couple messages, and you know, people saying, "Oh, that was funny," yada yada yada, and they start asking me for like advice. So then I did another rant, and then another one, and then another one, and then someone was like, "Oh, you just up here talking about this little single lady stuff," and I'm like, single lady rancher, I am.
I mean,
just like that.
So that was ultimately, that's what was your motivation.
That was my motivation. Started in 2017, actually, when I first started doing my first lives, just talking about dating and talking about my different experiences with dating and just talking about all the crazy things that I be seeing and hearing.
What's the biggest misconception people get about you?
Oh,
Because they see you looking how you looking, and then you start talking.
I think what they think is that maybe I'm stuck up or maybe I'm high maintenance. And then, of course, when people get to know me, they realize, oh, you just regular hood chick.
Long as she said it, I ain't say this. She said it. I ain't say it.
Listen, I own my place. I grew up in the projects. I grew up in the hood. I've seen a lot of crazy stuff. And all those things made me who I am. I appreciate those experiences, you know, because I know where I don't want to be at no more, okay? And so I work every day not to be in that place anymore. So it is definitely motivation. I know some people use it as a crutch. You got to use it as motivation. You know that you don't want to be back in that hood seeing all the crazy things that I know I saw. And I grew up in a hood, in a projects here in Florida. But I also grew up in the hood in DC, and that's a whole nother level, especially in the 80s and 90s. You know,
Chocolate City.
Woo! It was wild.
You know what, man? I haven't heard good go-go music in a long time. In a long time. I thought it was like extinct.
No.
You gotta go to the right.
It was now just here in DC. That is a DC staple. Go-go is our music. And like literally, like they don't even have to go international. They don't even have to go nationwide. They make all their money within DC, Maryland, Virginia, Philly. They can go do a show and be home and make, you know, $500,000 a year easily doing go-go. So
wow,
you know, it's about knowing your market and sticking to that niche, and that's what they have done. You know, DC supports it, so big up DMV.
Sardine. Hey.
Wow. Yeah, they say that go-go hit them drums.
Hey, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Florida girl.
Doing the what?
I'm a Florida girl.
Doing the butt.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the most nationwide.
Right.
And Bustin' It Loose by Chuck Brown. So I feel like busting loose.
And there's definitely a lot of, you know, songs that, you know, I just like good music. I don't really care. Now, I don't want to hear all day just because that's, you know, that's my background and all that. So I would probably not want to hear it all day.
Right.
But, you know, the same way I wouldn't want to hear no particular music all day.
Right.
Even, I like my Trick Daddy. I like MJG. You know what I'm saying? But I like, and I like, you know, the Meg Thee Stallions, and I like the Little Baby, but I like Teddy P. You know what I'm saying? I like some Luther. I like the Mary J. You know what I'm saying? I like the Kirk Franklin. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on. Whoa! I'm just playing.
You mean class?
Yeah.
Yeah, that person.
Wow. I just like good music, period. You know what I'm saying? Whatever's getting ruffling my feathers, I'm here for it all.
So my last question before we slide into the topic is, so when it's all said and done for yourself and your whole body of work is laid out, what did you want it to read for the people in the bike?
That's an excellent question. That is an excellent question. I think for the most part, I would want people on the back just to give me the opportunity to get to know me. That's it. I mean, truly, just know me beyond what you see of me, because it's not just all what you see. I think I'm more than what I look like.
So you do see, would you like for the single lady ranter to expand into, you know, a bigger audience, or, you know, would you just like it to just be on a level of fun?
Right now I like the level of fun because it's not that responsibility, it's not that pressure that's on me. But if I have the opportunity to expand, I want to take it. I will take it. But I don't want to lose myself in taking it.
Absolutely.
So just like I talk crazy on my rant, I want to continue talking that way. And if you don't like it, just don't listen.
You know, and it's so funny that you say that, because it seems like the people that are talking crazy, they are the ones that are being the most, I don't want to say worship, viewed.
Yeah.
You know, but then
It's that authenticness that people
Right.
like. People like being able to relate to someone and feel like, oh yeah, that's my homegirl, that's my homeboy. Like I definitely can see myself hanging out with them, and I think that's what I want people to feel when they look at me giving my rants. Like I can be someone you can hang out with. That I'm not just, oh, you can't talk to me, or I'm not unapproachable. Like no, I'm very approachable.
Yeah. And one of your last topics was about toxic music, right?
Oh gosh, yes, toxic music. Oh, I've been trying to delete toxic music from my playlist just because I want to hear positivity. I want things to make me feel
I like
good.
that too.
I don't listen, like anything that starts talking about, like, first of all, y'all already know I'm not an Escape fan. I don't like Escape. So that
like
song,
Little Secrets?
that song right there would legit make me want to fight somebody. Like, really? Are you kidding me right now? I want to punch this chick in her throat. They sung that song with so much heart. They felt that song.
You're right.
No.
Because they've been there.
That's how
We've all been there to somebody.
She been talking about getting turned on because I'm in the room with you? Are you crazy? I'm gonna choke shit out of you.
So my question is, have you been in that situation before, though?
Have I been in that situation?
A little secret.
Like, well, then I didn't know
A little
it.
secret.
No, I never done that. That's number one. Like, I don't even play with stuff like that because I know how I am. Wait, let me take it back. I just
I was waiting on it too. Come on.
I was young. I didn't know no better. Okay, I was like 18, and you know.
Oh, okay, how old is this?
You're supposed to do that.
How old is this song, man? We talking about? We about 20 years old.
That's the kind of music I was listening to.
We all were. We all listened to Luke.
And we all
was listening to them.
Mm-hmm.
We was tearing it up.
Even in the 70s with what's the name of that group?
Me and Mr.
Four
Jones.
Tops. No, Me and Mr. Jones, right?
Mr. Jones.
You had the boys who sung that song. Oh, the Manhattan. Them motherfuckers always talking about cheating. I'm saying, just this kiss and say goodnight.
Oh Lord.
It's all that's all they talked about with cheating. And they not only cheating with their best friend girl. Like, they was some real backdoor Charlies back then. You know what I'm saying?
Backdoor Charlie.
It really was. I'm a digress on that. So
Yeah.
Because we about to get into the topic.
It wasn't me. I didn't do it.
But
Okay.
I definitely wanted the Sippas to get a taste of what the single lady ransom was all about.
Yeah. So tell the people again how they are able to find you, because you are on all of your platforms as.
I am the Single Lady Ranter. I'm also Miss Kai, the Single Lady Ranter, if you want to follow me on TikTok. But I know TikTok.
Nah, right.
If you don't do this,
It don't happen.
you know what I'm saying?
I got you.
Oh, yeah.
Focus.
Yeah, so Facebook, Instagram, The Single Lady Ranter. I am there. Check me out Friday morning, 7:30 a.m. on Facebook Live. I go with my rant. And so, yeah.
You don't know what you're going to hear.
You really don't, because I
Just
don't.
saying.
No.
Just saying.
You just gotta be there, be a witness.
So, although we've been cracking jokes and kicking it and whatnot, we are actually talking tonight on a topic that is not so funny.
Right.
But it, and we just, that's what we do on this platform. We do the conversation out loud. Because like you were saying, I know for Sipping and Conversations, what I want people to remember us by is that we were doing real talk about real life with real people.
I like how you roll that in.
You understand what I'm saying?
Real talk.
That's and that is, many people don't probably pay attention, but that's like our I don't want to say, that's like a motto for Sipping the Conversation. We do say what's good, simples. You hear that, but in the essence of it is real talk, real life, real people. And so with that being said, tonight we're actually diving into the discussion about domestic violence and its impact. Because we know that, it comes in so many different forms: verbal, physical, financial, spiritual. It comes in those different ways. And so, and depending on when it started, is how deeply rooted the impact will be as you go through life, and how you deal with new relationships or no relationships, people, period, your job, if you have kids, the world. And so we're going to talk about that. And but I know before we go into some more conversation, I just wanted to talk a little bit about a couple of facts that are some statistics, I should say, that I found, more importantly, during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
So during the pandemic, in the United States, as of April 18, 2020, there were 690,714 reported cases and 35,443 deaths.
Wow.
Regarding, domestic violence during the pandemic. So, and a lot of that came from stay-at-home orders.
Can't stand your ass. I'm sorry.
I mean, not a lot of it came from it, but because there was no people,
buffers.
right?
There was no buffer.
People going to work, people going to school, kids going to school. All those places and things that they could go to. There were travel restrictions, social. You had to learn to social isolation, and so
Well, I got a question for you, baby.
Mm-hmm.
What's our demographic from maybe 25 to 50, 60, right? So what is the statistic on urban people being in a domestic violence situation? You see what I'm saying? As we talk.
Yeah.
Because this is real talk, right? Like,
Yeah.
Have you, as a sibling, have you been in a domestic violence situation? I have.
So am I.
Have you, baby?
Yeah.
All right.
And actually, my domestic violence situation happened during the pandemic, and I'm not going to make any excuses for him or his behavior and say it's because we were at home all the time together, because that's not an excuse. There's never an excuse for you to put your hands on anyone. And I mean, it is a scary situation feeling that the person that you love, the person that you trust, the person that's supposed to be protecting you is now the person that is trying to kill you, essentially. It's a terrifying thing. It is, first of all, for me in my situation in particular, there's a lot of embarrassment and shame around the abuse that I received from my soon-to-be ex-husband. And that shame kind of keeps you from talking about it. It keeps you from getting help. It keeps you from going to the authorities. But for me, the turning point came when literally I felt like this man was going to kill me. Like I felt like I was not going to see my kids after that night. And so, you know, I had to call for police. I had to have him arrested and removed from the house because, you know, I was that badly bruised. Like there wasn't marks on my face or anything, but I had a gash in my head. You know, there was blood coming down my head. I have a lot of hair. I had bruises all over my back, arms, legs. And, you know, I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep my composure here. Because for me, my situation was recent. Like I said, for me, it happened at the beginning of this year, actually. At the beginning of the year. I mean, I still have bruises today. Like my thumb, I don't have working use of my thumb because, you know, the attack. And the other part of it is there isn't really any help from the justice system. Like I said, this happened in January. I didn't receive some type of justice until April. And then to even get a restraining order, it's bananas trying to get a restraining order. Like you gotta go through all these hoops, and if you don't do it in this amount of time, if you don't do it in that amount of time, like there's no breathing room for victims. Like there wasn't a time for me to just sit back and reflect or just take time to just gather myself. Like they want you to be like boom, boom, boom on everything. It's like, damn, I just like felt like I almost lost my life, and you want me to be answering questions, going here, going. It is
psychological trauma behind it all.
Oh my God, therapy. I've been in therapy. I was in therapy before the situation, and I'm currently still in therapy dealing with the situation. And you know, the things with victims. I used to be one of those women that used to be like, oh well, you know, you should just leave. If a motherfucker hit me, I'll be out the door. During the pandemic, you didn't really have those.
Ain't no outside.
You know outside, bitch.
And then, you know, because everybody's scared, so it's like I don't want to be having people at my house. You know,
all of that. It was a lot of stuff to deal with during the pandemic. It was a lot
just trying to stay alive.
So I'm gonna ask you this, like, how not you, but the panel and people who was watching, like, how often does a domestic dispute go unreported?
Oh, all the time. And you know, I kind of talked about it on one of my rants, and I got a lot of messages from women saying, like, I didn't report. I just was happy that he was gone. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times these men, and sometimes women, but because I was hearing from women, you know, they were like, well, because he decided to leave, so I didn't press any charge. I'm just happy to have him out of my life. And so because he's gone and he doesn't bother you anymore, he doesn't reach out to you, or they're just happy to be away from it. So a lot of times people don't report just because of that. You know, so just imagine you're in a dating situation, you're not married, you're dating, and you know, he comes over to the house, he does something to you, and then he leaves.
You know,
and never contacts you again. And so she just like, okay, good, I don't ever have to talk to him ever again, and don't make a report. But I've heard from, so many women over the last 6 months about being in that same situation, and my heart goes out to women because now I am one of those women, and I hate the fact that we try to protect these men because of the love, because we don't want him losing his career, we don't want him losing this, and we don't want him in jail, especially black men and black women. It's like, if I report him now, what's going to happen? I'm a light-skinned woman. my, soon to be ex-husband, he's dark skinned. So there was a fear in my heart that the police come to the house and they may shoot him or they may do something to him because they see me light, see him dark, and automatically make a judgment. And which they judgment will be correct, but to take his life, they're not the jury and they're not the executioner.
At least you want to do justice,
right,
for the situation. So just speaking on a few statistics that I did find here, it scroll past it too quickly. It says, but this dates back to like 94. I don't want to take too much time. But in 1994, the Bureau reported that 15.6 whites, 20.3 blacks, and 18.8 Hispanics per 1,000 people were victims of domestic violence.
Spanish people love to fight. I'm sorry. Oh, that's how loud.
But it did say, but by the year 2010, those numbers had fallen to 6.2 whites, 7.8 blacks, and 4.1 Hispanics. And
I think people just don't report.
And that's what it's saying.
If you even look at the Meg Thee Stallion situation with her and what was the guy named Tory Lane, she even didn't want to say anything because she was worried about possibly hurting his career and him going to jail.
She got shot in the
foot. But at the same time, that is like the burden that a lot of black women carry, and that's what I've been hearing from a lot of women that we just don't want to put him in the system. We don't want to put him in a bad situation because he's already a black man. He already got these strikes against him already. And at the same time,
I can see that, but I like to turn shit around.
Of course.
So like,
and then I'll jump in and see what the people saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So like from a man's perspective, who we as men, we are victims all the time.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. We are victims as much.
Say it again.
I got triggered.
Oh Lord,
Sorry.
I'm sorry. We are victims, right? But here's the thing, though, man. Most of us men are raised to be strong, right? And we're raised to, don't show fear. So when we get in a situation where it's our woman hitting us, we don't want to draw. We like to call it feminine. We don't want to draw that feminine energy to be like, yo, they hitting me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So like, from a man's perspective, I even did a poem one time. I had to go find that. Why you beating on me? And it's from a man talking to a woman. Why you always beating on me? And they always say the same thing. You a man, ain't you?
That's sad.
You a man. They always say, when they hit you and they don't expect you to hit them back, you a man. You ain't supposed to hit a woman. Right. But then that means women get free reign to do what the hell they want to do?
Hell no. And I have a daughter, and I raised my daughter. And listen, if you don't want a man to put his hands on you, don't you put your hands on no man. I don't care. You raised in a house where, men don't hit women. That's the kind of house I grew up in. I didn't grow up in a house with seeing violence. So I wasn't exposed to violence, right? And my kids weren't exposed to violence. So again, my daughter, don't expect the men outside the house to treat you like the men in the house, okay? You and your brothers can play rough and yada, 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 but those dudes outside weren't raised in this house. So them dudes ain't gonna take it the same way. They may hit your behind back. Right. So don't put your hands on a man. And I've always lived by that. I would never put my hands on anybody unless I'm defending myself. Yeah. That's it. I'm not going to hit you, not even playing with you, unless we're in the bedroom and that's what you like. But that's something separate. That's something separate. All I'm saying is, like, I'm not gonna put my hands on you in a violent way because I'm mad. Okay? Like, I know how to use my words. And I think as adults, that's what we have to do. We have to use our words. But not only that, we have to realize that there are things like I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose my freedom. I work very hard for all the things I have. I'm not going to jeopardize losing the things that I have and I've acquired because of your ignorance. Okay? I'm not. Like, you can act crazy all you want. Let me go ahead and knock this door leave. I ain't about to put my hands on you. You ain't about to call the police on me. But that's me as a woman, though.
But it goes like, it's like real murky in certain areas, right? Because you don't know what a man or woman is capable of doing when they're in that bit of rage, right? They don't think rationally in certain aspects, in certain situations.
But then don't you think that that's the
Don't
case?
give them no excuse.
They haven't elevated
It's not
themselves.
giving them excuses. I'm not giving a person an excuse for doing the things they do. But I've seen situations where a person gets mad and just black the fuck out. You know what I'm saying?
I get that, but
that's different. But if it's a regularly occurrence where
Mm-hmm.
every time you get upset,
you
this is
blacking
a
out.
behavior.
Hey man,
You know,
That's a pattern.
yeah.
And then you get help.
right? Then there's not. Now we talking about
And you know
something
that
is wrong, right?
Right.
Something is wrong, like because you clearly and if you don't identify that there's something that's not normal behavior, and that you probably need to get some help,
that part.
then that's an issue in itself, and that's now you're creating a hostile environment for yourself, kids, whomever that's involved in this environment, you know, and that's
You're
where
right.
it gets.
And then you add this one other ingredient, right? That thing that they call love. So you add this.
I just don't think that. You can't hurt someone that you love. I'm sorry. There's never a point in time. Like, I think about my kids and I think about all the things they do, but there's never a point in time that I want to hurt my kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
And
I never want to break their will to where they have to submit to me either. And that's what a lot of times that I feel abusers do. They're trying to break the person, break the will, break you down so that you're too weak to fight back and you can continue to be, you know, molded or put in the box that they want to put you in.
I feel it. I feel what you're saying now. I'm just offering other ideas that people think in their own mind.
Yeah, because
you know
there's definitely so many different ways.
You know what I'm saying?
So the research here is saying that the subject of abuse can be both difficult and embarrassing
Right.
for them to discuss outside of the house.
Mm-hmm.
What you were saying, it kind of makes you feel embarrassed, you know, to even discuss it because it's like, oh my God, like.
Yeah, and I couldn't believe that I was even in that situation because I was always the one like, they motherfucker put their hand on me. I'm like, and now I wasn't. I was weak. I was afraid. I was not that person that.
Because you wasn't preparing for that.
No.
You know, you were not prepared
That
for the
ingredient
unexpected.
that
Not
ingredient.
just love, period, but just.
Shit. That
It's
had a
not
lot
just
to
like
do
when
with it.
someone is overpowering you, like
you know, how do you prepare yourself to be
Well, I mean, this is
a
what
part
love.
of a
This is
domestic
what.
violence?
What I'm saying. This is what love did, right? It
no,
allowed.
love ain't do
No,
that.
let me finish my statement. Let me finish the statement before I get crucified. This is what love did. Love provided the opportunity for you to let that wall down, for it to creep in and attack you from a place you didn't see it coming. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's
all I'm saying.
Yeah,
love
but
did.
it wasn't.
You know
It
what I'm saying?
wasn't
I'm
all.
not
I would
saying
say
it.
personally for me, it's not all inclusively love that did that. It was just the comfortability and the person, the whole thing, like
But all that's love.
blindside you, like. But
To me,
there's
all that's love,
nobody.
though.
You know that I would, even if if it was like a parent that was abusing. How do you like you parent
Again,
supposed to love you, so you didn't break
you're talking
down.
about love again. You know what I'm saying? As the
But
like
you're
the
not.
watering
It's not
down
about.
of your
It's
protection.
not just love. It's like it's the individual. Like it's the individual.
I got
You see it as love. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm just saying, period. It's not all inclusive. That people are not preparing themselves
So
to be in that position.
What I'm saying, for people that you don't have any ounce of love for, your guard is all the way up all the time.
Right.
You
So,
know what I'm
so
saying?
that
That's what I'm
means
saying.
If someone that I didn't know attacked me, like I walk out the door right now and someone attacked me,
Exactly.
I would be like, no, call the police. But because it was my husband, I was like,
My point. Or a friend. It can be a friend. See, but see, it's
someone where you connected to.
It's more than
some
one
type of
type of love. Like
Okay.
we've always talked about, it's like more than one type of love. So it's like when you talk about family, they hurt your ass all the time, and they scar your ass all the fucking time, right? Because you keep this idea of love, family, blood is thicker than water in your mind at all times, right? So you give them more passes than you should. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we do. And we do that with our family. And our family sometimes are the most toxic, abusive relationships that we actually start first. So those are like kind of where that abuse kind of cultivates from. You know, for a lot of us.
Especially men, because all they say, let's say a man watches his father beats his mom, you know, and nothing happens. Now they're 20, 30 years old, and they feel like this is what they need to do in order to get that love that they've seen all their lives. You know what I'm saying?
That's a lot of ways behind
life imitates life.
Right.
In certain aspects. You know
so it says what you were, you know, some of the things we're kind of talking, you know, validating some of it. There, when I talked about it not being discussed outside of the home, being embarrassed. So with that being the case, it's vastly underreported, especially among certain ethnic groups in the U.S. since it's more likely to be kept secret. So research suggests that around 25% of the population does experience domestic violence. Only about 2.5% to roughly 15% report the abuse.
Wow, that's staggering. That's scary.
It is.
That's scary because people have to be held accountable for the behavior to change. And when there's no accountability, there's no behavioral change. And going to therapy, working with my therapist, you know, really helped give me the strength, give me the courage that I needed to keep pushing myself, to know that I'm doing the right thing and I'm making the, you know, right steps and progress and all that good stuff. Therapy helps. Get therapy if you need it.
Yeah.
I always talk about that therapy.
But here's the thing, right? So I'm hearing everything that's been said, right? And it's kind of geared towards more of the physical abuse. But that's a minute in comparison to the emotional abuse. Probably way outweighs.
That's why I'm saying that verbal abuse.
Verbal
You
abuse
know,
is woo.
right.
That's rough.
And it's, you know, it's like,
and you know, verbal abuse is kind of where it starts. It starts with the emotional, verbal, and then it becomes physical.
You didn't hear what I said. You know what I'm saying?
You know, you know, it's the ugly talk, the
Yeah.
things that make you feel less than, and as a person just again trying to beat you down. So you know, they're trying to beat you into a submission state, to beat you down into feeling like you have to depend on them.
Yeah, to be that submissive,
So,
you know, to maintain that position of inferiority, you know. And it's like, where does it come from that you have to have this, you know, you know, this inferiority complex? Like, where does it be? Where did it begin? And then a lot of times, they don't. The abuser don't know, and then sometimes they do. Like you say, if you were in a home or you are a product of the environment, community, and these are the things that you see, it's no excuse, okay, for none of it, absolutely. But it's like, if you don't know, because you were never taught, neither do you know that it's unacceptable behavior, because the men do it this way and the women respond this way. The women do it this way and the men respond this way. And that's all you've seen. It's not until, let's say, you get into your adulthood, you know, let's say you get into your mid-30s as a man or a woman, and you were fortunate enough to come out of your environment or be now exposed to a more diverse environment, and then you're seeing wait a minute, like, you know, the mind don't really know how to process it, so you just proceed with what your foundation.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a repetition of toxic relationships, possibly, or you overcompensate in areas because you lacked so much. So now you just kind of overdo it.
I saw this meme the other day, and it said 2 boys were raised by an alcoholic father. One of the brothers said he didn't drink because of what he saw his father do. The other one said he drank because of what his father did. So it's the same thought process. It's about, you have to make a choice what you want. There is never an excuse, you know, regardless if this is what you saw all your life, don't mean you gotta do it.
Yeah.
You know, so you gotta make those decisions as an adult, who you wanna be. Who do I truly want to be? Do I want to be an abuser? Do I want to be a person that hurt the people that I love? Or do I want to be the person that takes care of the people that I love? And a lot of times, these people that are abusing don't even know how to love themselves. So it's hard for them to even translate that whole idea of, I need to take care of someone because I need that same love back, or I can give this love because I love myself. They don't get it. It's not a connect there. And once that connection is made, then they can stop their abusive behavior. But until that connection is made, they're going to keep doing it over and over again until someone comes along and holds them accountable.
And that's where you see the title today, this evening, is domestic violence and its impact. Because again, the impact goes from the children, you know, if children are involved, that becomes the adult. It goes from the woman or the man going from relationship to relationship. It goes to your job, as I mentioned earlier, going on a job, being able to handle
which is funny,
friendships and all of that.
Which is funny, not funny, but I made a correlation earlier when I was talking to the gentleman, Jerron, right? About working and then turning it back to being a relationship and how we think that's work as well. So everything we do in life correlates with each other in some way, form, or fashion. You know what I'm saying? Spiritual, mind, and the physical. You just got to figure out what that balance is for you. That way it won't make it chaotic for yourself. You know what I'm saying? So
let's hear. Let's see. What the
people say.
All right.
Nothing there.
Nothing.
Jeez.
Y'all wasn't sipping. Y'all was drinking.
I don't know what you were doing over there.
Sipping in conversation.
Hey, man, listen, I gotta get there early. Like, it is what it is.
Sad thing is, police wives are the most abused.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they have no outlet.
Yeah. A lot of times those women have to go to like the next county over or the next city over just to make a report. Yeah, they have to go to another county. And I actually had a girlfriend who husband worked for Brevard County, and she had to go over to she had to go down to Palm Beach County to make a report. Well, up to Palm Beach County.
Right.
I don't know which way.
Up.
I'm like
down.
Up, down.
Down. Yeah. Okay.
Well, whatever it is. She had to go to the next county over to make a report because her husband actually worked for that county that they lived in. Yeah.
But you know what? We should not always hold police officers or people in those roles to that high of a standard. You gotta understand that they're human as well.
All right.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So that's sad when you were talking about the men being abused.
Right.
A man has to learn to walk away and let women, and women let him, and women need to let him, regardless of the situation. I had to learn to escape the escalated situation. Sad that men getting beat up too.
Yeah, man. Like, it happens, but you know, it's like I think in certain aspects, women when they choose these men, they know what type of man they dealing with.
I would say this. I did not know.
Wait. We're not talking from that perspective.
Look, I'm like, I didn't know.
We're talking about a man who's a gentleman and do all the things that women know that they should do, right? And there, the woman is the abuser, right? Because they don't go out and abuse the people that they know that is abusing as well. They go out and abuse the people that they know uphold a certain code, right? They uphold a certain code.
Yeah, because they know this man is not going to hit them back.
Right.
They know
so they're gonna take it to the umpteenth power to see how far they can go before the dude break.
This was interesting.
Okay.
Every time I see a post about a real man or woman wanting alpha males, I think of the toxic masculinity that comes with that and the potential for domestic violence.
I agree with that.
Because what is a real man?
Right.
Well, I mean,
what is the alpha male? What comes with that?
Personally, most women who say they want a real man don't know what a real man is.
Right, so that's what I'm saying. That's my whole thing.
They go on Hollywood or other people's experiences.
Yeah.
And I base my real man experience on my dad and my uncles. I know that my dad and my uncles are not abusive. I didn't see that growing up.
Absolutely.
So, and my dad, and I've said this on my rant before, my dad has always said a man has to love a woman more than a woman loves a man. A woman's love is going to be multiplied by what the man puts in. So he's always been that man to put extra in because he knows that a woman will multiply that. And, so that's all I know. I mean, that's literally what I know.
And that's the foundation that you
valid.
take with you. At least that's your baseline. So just imagine a man. Again, I'm not condoning nothing violent, but these are scenarios, all right?
Well, you a pistol told mama, you gonna shoot him.
I want to knock his block off, okay?
Pew 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 pew.
I mean, now you would really have to overbear me, but nevertheless, that's a whole nother story because you know what I'm saying. I don't know what I would do, okay? But say a scenario like you said, this was the food that you were fed, right? So now here's this man that his uncles and his daddies were pimps, hoes, drug dealers. They was, alpha man. You know what I'm saying? They was handling the house.
Yeah.
But they were not treating the women with, what love would look like. They were their means for showing love was, I'm taking care of it. I feed y'all. I got this roof over your head, and I'm gonna go do what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? You gonna check. You gonna shut up, and bitch, you be quiet because blah blah blah. Like this
I'm
type
a man.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And when I get home, you better have my bill and you better have my dinner. You know what I'm saying? My clothes. And he taking his dirty clothes off.
That boy. Tune it up.
I mean, but so this is this man's perspective on what he's been fed. So now he walking around
beating his chest with that.
You know what I'm saying? However, what's happening is he's going to be attracting those type of women that are vulnerable enough, submissive already enough, that will accept him because they may be lacking something, possibly self-esteem or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And so it makes his mission easier.
So I'm gonna ask this question. So does alpha women, alpha females, alpha women, right? Can they coexist with alpha man? You know what I'm saying?
Yes, but what's gonna happen is there's gonna be a happy.
Hold on. You see that look on her face?
I don't know because I've been thinking about that whole alpha, beta, and I don't even know if there's any more. No omega or zeta. I don't know.
It's all right.
Because I don't know where I fall in that. I don't feel like I'm a I feel sometimes like I'm an alpha female, but I don't want to be labeled an alpha
Right.
female.
Well,
And
if
that's
you're
my
not-
issue. Like
So-
I don't want to lose my femininity.
That part.
And
So the
but I will
parallel-
hold it down,
the
and I need
parallel
my
to
man
alpha-
to know that I will be there in a situation where he can't provide
Mm,
temporarily or whatever the circumstance may be. I want him to know I
I'll
got
step up.
us.
I'll step up. If I
So
have to,
if
yeah.
you want to classify me as being alpha, that's cool. I know that I am the type of woman that I'm gonna do this probably with or without you.
That part.
So that mentality generally is viewed as an alpha female.
well, here's the parallel. I'm glad y'all mentioned it. The parallel to alpha is omega. They're not one of the, they're all both dominant people.
Mhm.
Just one is more I'm not gonna say more dominant, does it a different way. Alpha can be the solo, and they don't need anybody to be in their space to feel like who they are. That's the omega, right? Alpha tries to dominate everything.
Okay. Well,
You
then
see what I'm
well,
saying?
then I would be omega then. I'll be an omega.
There's also
female.
beta, sigma, and there's another one.
Yeah, I looked at beta. I know I'm not a beta. I was like, yeah, I'm not that lame to be a beta.
No, I mean, but I got you.
I mean, there were good qualities for the beta woman and the beta man. I think I would prefer a beta man over an alpha man to match my omega energy.
Oh, okay.
There we
So
go. Because I need my space from time to time, and I think it's good that you have that space because then we can avoid having domestic violence situations.
Right. And I think, when you ask me, have I ever had the experience? I have had the experience, not in a way where I didn't have to necessarily call, the law to mediate anything. But I know I was in a position in a domestic violence. I had a domestic violence instance, I should say. I got out of it. And thankfully I was young. Well, I won't say thankfully. I was young enough to, move on with my life. And fortunately, nothing happened. But I literally was I could have been killed.
Yeah.
Like, with a gun.
And that's the whole thing. Like for me, at my current age, I never expected to be in that situation because I had went through all of my life not having experienced that, not having been in that situation, not even dealing with a man who would even go that route.
Yeah, that was when it happened. I was like, I had never experienced anything to that magnitude, and so to be roughed up, not I didn't have any bruises or anything, but it was just, the grabbing and the gun part was, wait, what are we doing here? Like, you love me that much? Oh my God, I don't like this love. This is weird. But the universe worked in my favor because he ended up going to prison. You know what I'm saying? Not by me, but you know what I'm saying? It was just like, wow.
Thank you. Thank God for that.
So let's do our final thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do our final thoughts. Mine is gonna be great, but okay.
Wow.
As always, great. Always great.
Wow.
But
So,
I'll let y'all go ahead.
no, you're fine. You're fine. So tonight we talked about domestic violence and its impact. And we can really do this. Like, this is one of those topics because, as I mentioned earlier, there's so many cases that go unreported. Because of logistics in the reporting and then the embarrassment behind it and just making the excuse for the person to not make their lives worse or whatever, but again, as you said, they got to start thinking this through. They got to be like one of the Sippas said, get to a point where you can walk away. Men and women, you got to be able to walk away before a situation escalate. And before we go, because I do like to drop stats and stuff because just numbers here. Numbers mean things. So this one is about the domestic violence statistics in Florida. In 2019, 105,290.
Wow.
105,298,000.
That's a lot.
So let's just say 106,000 crimes of domestic violence were reported to Florida law enforcement agencies, resulting in 66,000 arrests. 66,000, but there was 106,000 crimes.
Wow.
So look at those numbers. And then during the fiscal year,
It's almost like an eighth.
2019, 2020,
Eighth of the people in Florida.
right, domestic violence centers provided 564,000 nights of emergency shelters
wow.
to 13.2 thousand survivors of domestic violence and their children.
Wow.
No. Okay.
So, the advocacy and counseling services, they provided a total of 234,000 hours and received 74,000 domestic violence hotline calls from individuals seeking emergency services, information, and safety plan assistance. Safety planning assistance. So that means they're preparing to get out of these situations, and they are giving them the best advice they can give them. And so with that being said, I want to make sure I provide you all with a number, and I'm going to post it as well for the National Domestic Violence Hotline, which is 1-800-799-7233. Again, 1-800-788-7233, and that is the National Domestic Violence Hotline for confidential assistance from trained advocates. And then, of course, there's information you can get as well for mental health resources, because you will have trauma, because it is a traumatic situation and you're going to need some help. So that will be my final thoughts. Just giving you the resources from Sipping and Conversations with regards to it. And nobody, men or women or children, because we didn't even talk about the children, okay? But just know that if you see someone or you know of someone that's in a situation, I know I'm the queen of mind your business, okay? I wear the crown, but again, I always say you need to mind your business with discernment. All right.
Okay.
Some things you need to make it your business. You need to be out. You need to make it.
You're saving a life, potentially.
I'm just saying,
You know
especially when you know. All right.
Mhm.
Don't worry about she gonna do this, she gonna do that, or he gonna do this, he gonna do that anyway. Say something.
Right.
Okay.
All it takes is one punch the wrong way,
That's it.
and you're dead.
All right. That's my final thoughts.
Okay.
All right.
Single lady Ranter, give it to me.
My final thought is, if you are in a domestic violence situation, it is okay. It is okay that you're feeling ashamed. It's okay that you're feeling embarrassed, but it's not okay to stay in the situation. It is not okay to take the abuse. Get help, get therapy, call the police, get out of the situation, because you never know when it's going to be your last day. I employ everyone, if you're in the situation, get out. Don't stay in the situation. It's not going to get better. I don't care what they tell you. I don't care how much love, how much time you have invested. It's not going to get better. It could only potentially get worse. And it's okay. If you want to reach out to me and have a conversation, I am available to have a conversation, to talk about it. I am feeling more strong, or more strength. I have more strength to share my story now and talk about it. And I want to be a help for someone else, because it is a isolating feeling. It feels like you're isolated, even though, Bay just gave you the statistics of how many people are dealing with it. a lot of people don't want to talk about it, but I will talk about it with you if you want to have that
We
conversation.
gotta normalize it.
We have to normalize having the conversation that it is not normal to abuse, period, okay? It's not normal to be abused, you know, you have to get away from that. But again, I understand, so reach out to me. That's my final thought.
That was great. That was great. That was really good. Now,
So, what say ye, old great Buddha?
well, I'm gonna come from a different perspective, like I always do, because I wasn't the abusee, I was the abuser. So, yeah.
Babe.
I was the abuser. Like, I mean, it wasn't this particular situation, baby. But
Cause I almost just shanked him. A little harder. I was.
well, I mean, I'm not gonna give myself any excuses, even though I felt like it was self-defense because I was being attacked by a woman. Still, I am the stronger of the two, and when I did black out and I did react, it was not good. You know what I'm saying? So from that perspective, I can speak from being in jail, thinking about the situation, understanding what I need to do to get out of the situation, and am I going to ever put myself in that situation again, right? As you did, and as you said, and as you're preaching, I just totally got away from the situation. Period. Didn't really talk to that person, which is hard because we have children together, right? So, you know, how do you co-parent with somebody that you was in domestic violence with and have a level of cordiality? I think that in itself was a big reason why me as a father, I became the villain to my children because I wasn't there daily because of my own personal selfish issues that I had with their mother and their mother's personal selfish issues that they had, that she had with me. You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, this is real talk, real life, real people. At the end of the day, I'm not no bigger or no better than anybody else. So from that perspective, I'm gonna say, man, if you have that anger issue, don't wait until you get into the situation to get the help.
Yeah.
You know, deal with the anger issue first. It may alleviate the abuse down the line. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So I didn't think I had an anger issue, but you know, I couldn't predict me blacking out. Even for me protecting myself. You know what I'm saying? But she knew that I was strong. She knew I could probably potentially hurt her, but she was also banking on I have never put my hands on her before. Right. But then when you back a dog or any animal in a corner, right? In a corner, you don't know what to expect, what's going to happen, right? So no excuses for my own actions. I'm accountable for that. Luckily, the course worked out in my favor. But, you know, not everybody's in that situation. But I'm going to hold myself accountable to my own actions. I should have never, ever took it to that point. I should have walked away like Crow Easy said. And I've learned from that. And since then, I have not ever put my hands on anyone. And I always pretend to walk away from that situation, regardless of it. I think my biggest fear is going back to jail. Yeah. So I don't want to be in that place. You know what I'm saying?
Then you
so that's my motivation.
Nobody.
Right.
Yeah. Yourself or whatever. Or you'll just be in there taking
See, there were my final thoughts. It was a little different, but it was great.
No, well, you shared your personal experience, so hey, it's a final thought, and you had a lesson learned. So awesome. Listen, she told you how to reach her, huh? The single lady ranter, okay?
Or Miss Kai. Kai can, Kai will.
And what's Kai? Well, Kai is Kai, Will. I'm just saying, look how pretty she is. Isn't she just? Isn't she?
Yeah, I was gonna hurt me. Why was someone hurt me?
Just a lovely little thing, you. So tonight we talked about domestic violence and its impact, with the single lady ranter that actually has a real live situation. And we are grateful that you came on to just talk of, as you're going through your counseling and your healing, to share that, we appreciate you. I know, it's that. I won't say I know. I can only imagine it's still a very sensitive topic, but you kind of, some things in life you just get better as you just do it,
Yeah.
Getting out in front of it, being realistic, have your moments, but be realistic. And so if anybody is having any issues, or you know somebody that knows somebody, you can just drop that information on them. We are living in a time of technology. We already talked about with dating already being a lost art because everybody want to FaceTime and we want to date by way of technology. So put this information out there. Make sure you all like, follow, and share, because that's important for continued content that we do provide. If you have topics or you're interested in being on a guest on our show.
You see how that went? Somebody, boom, what? You want? Let's do it.
I mean, let's go. No problem. Hold on. Give me a minute. I got you. I'm just saying. So if you have a topic or you want to be on a guest, you can hit us up at www.buddhaandbaby.com. There's going to be some tabs in the top, places for you to click on. If you click on topic submittal, that'll take you to a form and you just fill it out. If you want to have a story or a topic or whatever, and you
Anonymous.
you want to be anonymous, you are more than welcome to put that information in there, and we will do the show based on your information, and you will be completely
not talking about, but
unseen, unheard. Okay?
Not talking about, but talking about. Yeah.
However, what we will do is reach out to you when we have that segment so that you can at least watch it. You can participate in it. And if you give us personal information, we know how to manipulate the situation where it's not exclusively talking about you. So that if you did want to, share it or whatever, it won't really pinpoint directly to you. We're pretty good. We are content creators, okay? So we do this. This is what we does, all right? Easy does it. Do it easy. Oh,
one more thing.
That part of my head. Wow. Merchandise.
Yeah.
I'm getting all the bases out. Merchandise. You can also find merchandise on this website. Please go for it. Why? Because that's another means of supporting us. Platforms. If you're looking for what platform we're on, you can go to our website. This is a tool for you to go to, as with any websites around. You go to that website and you find a wealth of information so that you can get that. And then if you have additional questions or concerns, then, you go to that website and you send us an email.
Voila.
Boom, boom. So there's that.
I got one more thing I'm going to add out there.
Take it on in now. Boom.
We also offer spots.
He caught the ball now.
Here you go. We awful.
We're so awful.
Awful, yeah. We also offer spots for people who are advertising their business or
Right.
shows or whatnot. So they're there.
Absolutely. I always let him do that because that's his get in the yeah. So when you see, like I did a little commercial when I say I'll be back from commercial break, well, that could be you.
That could be you.
That could be you. Okay. But until it's you, it's us.
Voila.
Who that? New phone. Who is this? Oh, sorry.
Oh, okay. Somebody thinking about Jasmine Sullivan.
My bad. I'm all over the place tonight with these songs, dropping them in know. But so every Wednesday we are live at 8 p.m. Eastern. However, this is week 11 of 12, which means next week is season finale. And then we will be out on vacation for the month of July.
Who knew?
My birthday.
Cause we're gonna be partying and we're gonna be filming, but we ain't gonna be talking about it. You just gonna have to catch film.
And then we'll come back in August. You know what I'm saying? For 12 more weeks. So
I can't wait till Gemini season over with. Boy,
you look at your time like,
Woo!
So yeah, make sure you all get with us because I am going to be reaching out to people to get their spots taken care of and get everything lined up so that we can be smooth sailing.
Oh, one more thing I'm gonna slide in there.
Let's get in there.
Happy birthday, Leela Simone Roberson. Her birthday will be at midnight.
Oh,
June
happy
17th.
birthday, Leela.
Yes, that's my daughter, my oldest daughter. She'll be 20 years old. Love you.
Yeah, old man. Getting up there. Hey, get you a old man hat. So in closing, we have a simple that says, so much respect to you, Kai, for boldly sharing your story.
Oh, thank you.
What about my story? I'm playing.
And they said,
She looked at me.
facts, counseling, mental health equals mental wellness.
Yes, well said.
So, listen, y'all know what time it is. Same time, same energy next week. Like I said, we're going to be up out of here next week. We're going to have our season finale. So we look forward to, continued success and you being a part of it. Till next week.
Peace.
We sipping in conversation. Sipping in conversation.
Beat me up, Scotty. Beat me up, Scotty.
Sipping in conversation. We sipping in conversation. Sipping in conversation.
Beat me up, Scotty. Beat me up, Scotty.
Sipping in conversation.